Alright. Here we are in Ezekiel 22. And this section is going to list a lot of sins that the people are committing that are direct violations of the law. Okay? Just about everything mentioned here in this upcoming section is going to have a precedent or a law being referred to somewhere in the books of Moses. We're going to look at some of those, but again, Ezekiel's a priest, so he knows this stuff. And he is going to be calling the people's attention to specific sins that they're committing that are breaking specific laws that they have. The word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, will you judge her? Will you judge the city of bloodshed? Then confront her with all her detestable practices, and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. O city, that brings on herself doom by shedding blood in her midst, and defiles herself by making idols. You become guilty because of the blood you have shed, and they become defiled by the idols you have made. You have brought your days to a close, and the end of your years has come. Therefore I will make you an object of scorn to the nations, and a laughingstock to all the countries. Those who are near and those who are far away will mock you, O infamous city, full of turmoil. See how each of the princes of Israel who are in you uses his power to shed blood. In you they have treated father and mother with contempt, because that's a direct violation of one of the commandments. Honor your father and mother. In you they have oppressed the alien and mistreated the fatherless and the widow. There are, of course, a number of commands about that. Oh wow, I wish I could read this. Oops. One of these days, I'm going to have to get another Bible that actually has a proper cover instead of this. That's not quite what I had in mind, but where was I? Excuse me. You have despised my holy things and desecrated my Sabbaths. In you are slanderous men bent on shedding blood. In you are those who eat the mountain shrines and commit lewd acts. In you are those who dishonor their father's bed. In you are those who violate women during their period, when they are ceremonially unclean. In you, one man commits a detestable offense with his neighbor's wife. Another shamefully defiles his daughter-in-law. And another violates his sister, his own father's daughter. Now, that's all part of Leviticus 18 right there. If you want to read about that, you could read specific laws against all of those in Leviticus 18. In you, men accept bribes to shed blood, take usury and excessive interest, and make unjust gain from your neighbors by extortion. And you have forgotten me, declares the sovereign Lord. Deuteronomy 23:19 says, do not charge your brother interest, whether on money or food or anything else that may earn interest. You may charge a foreigner interest, but not your brother Israelite, so that the Lord your God may bless you in everything you put your hand to in the land you're entering to possess. That's not what I wanted. Exodus One of the very first laws they got in the batch of Exodus laws. Exodus 23:8. Do not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds those who see it and twists the words of the righteous. A couple of other state laws similar to that. Deuteronomy 24:6. Do not take a pair of millstones, not even the upper one, as security for a debt, because I will be taking a man's livelihood as security. Verse 10, 24 verse 10, Deuteronomy 24:10. When you make a loan of any kind to your neighbor, do not go into his house to get what he is offering as a pledge. Stay outside and let the man to whom you are making the loan bring the pledge out to you. If the man is poor, do not go to sleep with his pledge in your possession. Return his cloak to him, assuming his cloak is the pledge, by sunset, so that he may sleep in it. Then he will thank you, and it will be regarded as a righteous act in the sight of the Lord your God. Do not take advantage of a hired man who is poor and needy, whether he is a brother Israelite or an alien living in one of your towns. Pay him his wages each day before sunset, because he is poor and is counting on it. Otherwise he may cry to the Lord against you, and you will be guilty of sin. Do not deprive the alien, a couple verses later, 17. Do not deprive the alien or the fatherless of justice, or take the cloak of the widow as a pledge. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you from there. That is why I command you to do this. These are all laws that are being referred to here, and some of these don't take interest or take advantage of your brothers, which is what they've been doing here in Ezekiel. I will surely strike my hands together at the unjust gain you have made, and at the blood you have shed in your midst. Will your courage endure, or will your hands be strong in the day I deal with you? You can talk a good game until God shows up. Can you keep it up when he's here and facing you? I, the Lord, have spoken, and I will do it. Excuse me, wow. I will dispense you among the nations and scatter you through the countries, and I will put an end to your uncleanness. When you have been defiled in the eyes of the nations, you will know that I am the Lord. Then the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, the house of Israel has become dross to me. All of them are the copper, tin, iron, and lead left inside a furnace. They are but the dross of silver. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you have all become dross, I will gather you into Jerusalem. As men gather silver, copper, iron, lead, and tin into a furnace to melt it with a fiery blast, so will I gather you in my anger and my wrath, and put you inside the city, and melt you. I will gather you, and I will blow on you with my fiery wrath, and you will be melted inside her, the city that is. As silver is melted in a furnace, so you will be melted inside her, the city, and you will know that I, the Lord, have poured out my wrath upon you. Again, the word fire can be used as an agent of cleansing or destruction, or both in some cases. You can destroy the unclean part to purify the clean part. Again, the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man, say to the land. This is the land now, not the people or the city, but the land. You are a land that has had no rain or showers in the day of wrath. God always said he could withhold the rain as punishment for disobedience. He's been doing that since the beginning. There is a conspiracy of her princes within her, like a roaring lion tearing its prey. They devour people, take treasures and precious things, and make many widows within her. Her priests do violence to my law, and profane my holy things. They do not distinguish between the holy and the common. We read about that a lot back when we actually read the law. They must distinguish between the holy and the common, the clean and the unclean. And these priests are not. Well, Ezekiel wanted to do that. He was trained to be a priest, and I believe he would have been very good at doing that. But these priests do not do that. They do not distinguish between the holy and the common. They teach that there is no difference between the unclean and the clean. And they shut their eyes to the keeping of my Sabbaths, so that I am profaned among them. Her officials within her are like wolves tearing their prey. They shed blood and kill people to make unjust gain. Her prophets whitewash these deeds for them by wash them away, clean them up, plaster them over, pretend that they're covered up and not seen. By false visions and lying divinations. They say, this is what the sovereign Lord says, when the Lord has not spoken. The people of the land practice extortion and commit robbery. They oppress the poor and the needy and mistreat the alien, denying them justice. I read a few verses earlier, but there's a lot of other verses you could read that point to the same thing. I looked for a man among them who would build up the wall and stand before me in the gap on behalf of the land, so that I would not have to destroy it. But I found none. He's looking for a guy. He's looking for a representative who will be righteous and will turn the Lord's wrath away. Moses did that once. Abraham tried to do that for Sodom. Other people thought time he even told Jeremiah in the book of Jeremiah, go look for somebody, but there wasn't. I found none. So I will pour out my wrath on them and consume them with my fiery anger, bringing down on their heads all they have done, declares the sovereign Lord.